and welcome to Derwent Harps. This morning I'm just going to give you a quick introduction to tuning your Adventurer 20 when it arrives at your home. First off, your Adventurer will have had round about a minimum of a 2-day journey to get to you. If you live abroad, Australia, New Zealand, USA, Hong Kong, could be up to a 2-week journey. So your harp will be out of tune when it arrives with you, no matter how much tuning that I do for you. Tuning your harp is part of becoming a harpist. It's part of the learning skills. All harps need daily tuning. All of the harps you can see in the room with me now will need tuning today at some point. Harps take around about a year to find their full voice. But you can start it off in good stead by giving it a really good tune from day one. It's really important to tune and to play your harp. So because the harp needs the soundboard to start lifting and vibrating for it to create the sound. And it needs to be kept up to pitch, because if it's left for many weeks, it'll sink back to its original form and start acting like a new harp again, and you'll have to do all that work all over again. Anyway, the first thing you want to do is download a chromatic tuning app onto your phone or buy a digital tuner. This makes it easier for you. And your harp will probably sound something like that when you get it, which is a little bit flat. I'm going to show you some speedy tips for tuning as well. So you're going to start off by putting the tuning key on to middle C. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can see clearly what I'm doing. So I'm putting my tuning key onto middle C. Now middle C on the piano is the lowest C on your harp. So I'm putting it on, I'm giving it a pluck, I'm listening. It's only a tiny bit flat. So as I'm plucking, I'm going to turn the tuning handle. Now, I want to make this tuning process speed up a little bit, so I'm going to give the string a really good pull. And as you'll hear, it's gone flat again. So I tune it again, and that's the C done for now. I then choose the G next, because it's easier to hear if you're tuning by ear. If you're ever on the concert platform and you're tuning by ear, it's easier to hear the interval of the fifth. So again, tuning hammer goes on, we listen, that's a little bit sharp, so I make it go flat, bring it up to G, give it another good pull to take the stretch out of the string, and then tune it again. I do the next fifth, which is D. Give it a good old pull, goes very flat, that's almost a semitone. And I'll do that one again. And you can go down the string, giving it a good old pull. And then I tend to go down the octave to the next D below. Give it a good old pull, send it flat. And again, down the string, up the string. And then I test the C again that I did to start with. Very good, give it a pull, down and up. And then I fill in with all of the notes from that octave, so D and then E. And it's better to keep plucking as you turn the tuning key, because then you'll hear when it gets to pitch. Then give it a good old pull all the way down the string, because nylon strings have a lot of stretch in them, but once the stretch has been taken out and they reach pitch, they're very stable at staying in tune. But here we are at A, giving it a pull, and then B, which is pretty good, but I'm going to give it a pull so that later on I haven't got too much tuning to do. You see, I'm turning, and it's very fractional turns. A quarter turn of your tuning key is round about a semitone. Now we're on D that we did before, E, you can hear that's flat. So I'm pulling the key towards me. Give it a good old pull. I'm now doing the F. For the first couple of weeks, you will need to repeat this process over and over again, daily. The more you do it at the beginning, the quicker the harp will settle. And you're learning to become a harpist. And again on the B, give it a good old pull. Keep turning ever so slightly. You can see it's really fractional movements. Give it another pull. And the top C, give it another pull. Fractional movements, you can see, but I keep plucking because then you can hear it arriving on pitch. You can also check that you haven't put it on the wrong string. If you overtune the string, it's better to give it a good pull rather than detune at this stage. And the last string at the top. That one was a bit over and I did detune it just because we'd given it a good tune beforehand. So now the harp's starting to sound like a harp. Down to the B underneath middle C. Give it a good old pull. Then A. That one's a little bit sharp because we do tune them up for you. The last one, G, a little bit sharp again, so we give it a good pull. And that is the initial tuning of your Adventurer 20. I can't emphasise enough that you will need to tune your harp every day. You will need to tune your harp every day. In the first 2 weeks, I'd advise tuning a couple of times a day using the method I've shown, where you're going to pluck the string. If it's a little bit sharp, you're going to give it a good pull. You're going to make it a little bit flat. And then you're going to tune it up again. Give it a little bit of a pull. And you have a beautiful sounding Adventurer 20. I hope you've enjoyed it and I hope it's been a helpful little video. Don't forget, Derwent Harps is always here if you've got any questions.